Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Israel. Yeah, Yahweh Bashim Shabbat to the brothers, and Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bashim Yahweh Shah to the sisters. With an Israelite school, universal practical knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. And we're not affiliated with any other Israelite group nor any other Christian organization. All right. And so, what you want to do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already, make sure you put your name, city, and state so you can be put down for attendance. All right. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Uh, all right, Con. Okay, all right, everybody checking in. So don't forget to sign in and check in for attendance. All right, make sure don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm doing my due diligence right now, sharing these classes. You want to do the same. All right. You want to get out. We want this truth out there. All right. We want that truth everywhere and out there. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share them videos to your family, to your friends, to whoever, for sure, to whoever's going to watch it for sure. But you want to, let's get them views up. Me personally, I don't care who gets it. All right, go ahead and get us these views because we definitely gonna need them. All right, let me see. The brother never got back with me on that one. All right, no sweat. All right, so tonight's class is the Brotherhood class, one of my favorite classes. All right, if y'all don't know Preaching Officer Urasha Mark already, the Brotherhood class is one of my favorite classes. I love the Brotherhood class because brotherhood is everything when it comes to the truth, man. Brotherhood is everything when it comes to building up a nation of people. Brotherhood is everything when it comes to raising up a family. All right, brotherhood is everything when it comes to raising children. You understand? Like brotherhood is everything. And so if y'all remember my classes, all right, some of y'all may not have seen me teach class in a while, no sweat. Y'all never seen me teach the history in the brotherhood class in a while, so no sweat. I'm gonna try to drop as many jewels on y'all, you know, before I may have to hand these classes, to another brother, to give him the chance to teach and things like that and build up this nation. Understand? So I'm gonna try to drop as many jewels as I can. The same jewels that was dropped on me when it comes to teaching this truth, Akim and Akwafian. All right. And so if y'all remember my classes, back then, I always ask these questions. If I can remember my own questions, all right. So my first question is, all right, I think I asked either 2 to 3 questions. And my first question is, let me see, what what is equal and synonymous to brotherhood? Anybody tell me what is synonymous with brotherhood? What is equal and synonymous to brotherhood? Anybody online? What what is what is equal and synonymous to brotherhood? Not unity. Those were good answers. Not unity though. This question has, now the questions I ask, all right? You want to remember these answers. You want to remember these answers, all right? Remember these answers because when I teach the brotherhood class, I ask these questions all the time, and they only have one right answer. Now those might be good answers, but y'all never heard these questions before, so it's no sweat. It's no sweat. It's no sweat though. But okay, all right. Sister Anna got it. All right. She remembers these questions. No sweat. Anybody else want to give it a shot? What is equal is synonymous to brotherhood? Right. It is now our strongest weapon is brotherhood, but we need to know what's synonymous with brotherhood. Anybody want to give it another shot? Anybody else out there? What is equal and synonymous to brotherhood? All right, I see young man Edward following the laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, that's not that that's not we not there yet. We not there yet. We gotta walk it. Now remember how Officer Yerashimoff likes to flow. You know what I'm saying? This truth is like a woman to me. All right. This truth is like a woman to me. So like I like to take my time. You understand? I like to set the mood. You feel me? I like to set the mood. I like to take my time. I get the lights going. I get the music playing. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not a jackrabbit. All right. I'm not a jackrabbit. I like to take my time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the LL of the 80s. You feel me? So, you know, we gotta take our time with this truth. We want to take our time to really deliver the message so we can really get it. So you know what I'm saying? So we can really understand what the Lord really wants to be what the Lord really wants out there. All right. I like that answer though, brother. I like that answer, young man Darnell. I like that answer. I like that. I like that answer. All right. I like that answer. But that's not the right answer to this question though. I'm gonna give it to you for time's sake. Sisterhood. And give the sister Anna a hand. She got the question right. Make sure y'all give her a hand. All right. Akwaf Anna. Sisterhood. That's the correct answer. What's synonymous with brotherhood? Sisterhood. Without brotherhood, you can't have sisterhood. Without sisterhood, you can't have brotherhood. This Bible, throughout this entire Bible, there's brotherhood within every scripture. Within this entire Bible, there's sisterhood within this entire Bible, within every scripture. Do you understand? Brotherhood and sisterhood are synonymous with each other. All right. When it comes to teaching them brotherhood, we don't leave our sisters out. They need to learn sisterhood. All right. They need to learn certain things. And so now, young man Darnell, all right, this question is for you. All right. If brotherhood and sisterhood are synonymous to each other, if brotherhood and sisterhood are equal to each other, then what is brotherhood? What is sisterhood? That's my next question. What is brotherhood and what is sisterhood? I'm sure, Sister Anna knows this answer too. You can still answer if you would like, sis. That's fine too. But I want to give the brother a chance. All right. And I'm calling on young man Darnell purposely. Okay, the brother said love each other. All right, I'm gonna take it. But I want the answer to be shorter though. Give me a shorter answer. Instead of saying love each other, I just need one word. I just need a one word answer. You're right there. You right there. You're like 99% there. I just need that one word only. So what is it, young man Darnell? What is synonymous? Oh, okay. Okay, sister, I got it. But what is brotherhood and what is sisterhood? That is correct. Both of you are correct, of course. Love. Brotherhood is love. Sisterhood is love. One of the problems that we have within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, we don't know how to love. And then we have too many definitions of love. We don't know how to love each other the way we're supposed to love each other. The reason why there's so much confusion, all right, and there's so much disorder, and there's so much chaos within our communities, within our families, within our homes, because we have too many ways to love. There should be one unanimous definition of love. You understand? And the Lord gave that unanimous definition of what love actually is. All right. The Lord gave that definition. All right. We cannot build with different types of love. if I'm raising up a family and I'm raising up a home and I'm raising up my children and you're raising up a home and you're raising up a family and some children, if I teach my son to love this way and then you teach your daughter to love that way, and one day they come across each other, we cannot expect them to be able to get along. We cannot expect them to be able to work things out. We can't expect them to communicate the same because she loves one way and my son loves another. And now, of course, no thanks to Christianity and no thanks to these filthy, disgusting pastors and religious leaders, we believe my love might be right and you believe your love is right. I believe that the way I taught my son is right. And that, you know what I'm saying? And that's the right kind of love. And then the way you raised your daughter, you think, your type of love is right. And the way you love is the right way. And the way you taught your daughters to love is the right way. You understand? And because of Christianity, all I can do is, well, what's that phrase? To each their own. Oh well, I mean, if that's how you love, then that's just on you. You know what I'm saying? That's just on you, brother. That's just on you, sister. You can love any kind of way you want to love. All I'm saying is this is how I love. This kind of attitude and this kind of spirit throughout the community causes chaos. If I teach my son to love one way and you teach your son to love another way, they're not going to be able to communicate and get along. They're going to kill each other. If I tell my son, hey, how about just do what you think is right, do what you feel is right. You know what I'm saying? And you tell your son or your daughter, do what you feel is right, do what you think is right. Now they're making decisions based off of how they feel, and they're basing the decisions off, and they're making decisions based off of what they think and how they think. We don't realize because of Christianity that's dangerous. That's something dangerous. We don't realize how much danger we have put ourselves in by following Christianity. I believe I was saying this on Friday at camp. Young man Darnell, give that brother a hand, real solid. He came out to DC and stood outside the camp, man. Give that brother a hand. Real strong brother. He's really doing this thing, man. I think, and I brought this out on that Saturday. Is we don't realize how dangerous Christianity can be. We don't realize how dangerous following these religious leaders and these Christian leaders and these Islam imams. We don't realize how dangerous that is. The mindset that Christianity has put our people in is a dangerous mindset. You have someone that is basing decisions off of how they feel and what they think. We don't feel and think the same. You understand? And because we don't feel and think the same, now there's confusion. Now there's chaos. Now there's a bunch of murder on the streets. Now there's a bunch of gangs being created. Now you got the Bloods and the Crips and the Pirus and the GDs and the Latin Kings and all this other kind of stuff. Because now we're doing things. Now we're creating things based off of how we think and how we feel. We thought that creating a gang was good for the community. We thought it was good. And there may have been good intentions behind it, but good intentions are not good enough. And I want everybody to understand that. You might have good intentions, but good intentions are not good enough. You understand? And Christianity has made us believe that these intentions are good enough. It's good enough if I love the way that I love. It's good enough if I love this way based off of how I feel. It's good enough if I do it the way I think is right or how I feel is right. That's a dangerous mentality. If I feel like killing somebody is the right move, someone's about to lose a son tonight. Someone's about to lose a daughter tonight, a nephew, a niece tonight. Because you know what? I feel that this might be the right move. You feel me? Everybody understand, right? Like if I'm out there and I feel like, I feel like robbing the store because I think I'm thinking, and I even feel I think I should rob this store because you know what? I'm hungry. My family's hungry. I got mouths to feed. You understand? Prices has gone up. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about robbing the store. That's a dangerous mentality. So I go ahead with that mentality. There has to be a form of a guideline for our people to resort to. You understand? To reference. That's the word I want to use. Our people need something to reference. We cannot just reference our own thoughts. That's not good enough. That's actually dangerous. We can't reference our feelings. That's something that's dangerous. And I'm going to prove to you tonight as well, throughout the time that I'm speaking, how dangerous that can really be. How dangerous of referencing our feelings and our emotions and our thoughts can really be dangerous to others. You understand? We can't have brotherhood that way. We can't have sisterhood that way. You understand? Sometimes we don't understand the concept of what brotherhood is. A lot of us believe brotherhood is, you know, wearing the same things and talking the same and wearing the same colors and all that. And even though that may seem like brotherhood, and that can come from having brotherhood, and that can come from having sisterhood, but that's just scratching the surface, though. Everybody get what I'm saying? That's just scratching the surface. All right. There's more to brotherhood than just saying the same things and wearing the same clothes and maybe eating the same foods. There's more to sisterhood than just that too as well. Everybody get my point? You understand? And what the sister and the brother answered so heavily, they answered so right and so righteous. Brotherhood is love. Sisterhood is love. And so with that being said, what I need to know now is, what is love? Can anybody tell me what is love? If brotherhood is love and sisterhood is love, can anybody tell me what love is? Anybody online? Now, everybody should know this answer. Nobody should be able to get this wrong. What is love? If brotherhood is love and sisterhood is love, we need to know what love is. Love isn't what you think it is. Love isn't what you feel it is. God gave us a standard to live by. God gave us a reference in order to live by. God gave us a way to love. You thought, no thanks to Christianity, no thanks to this Christian church, no thanks to our oppressor raising these religious leaders up. We have the concept that we think love is what we feel it is. We believe that we can make love whatever love can be. You understand? Love cannot be what you think it is. Love cannot be what you feel it is. Love has a definition to the Lord. The Most High gave us a way to love. Because of Christianity, we believe that we have to create our own way of love. We believe that love is how can I say it? Love is not perspective. What's the word? There's a word I'm looking for. Love is not perspective, but I'm trying to say love is based on per person. There's a word for that. If y'all let me know what that word is, that'd be great. I'm trying to think of what it is. But love is not to the individual, right? It's not up into the hands of the individual. There's a word that means that, all right. And I'm trying to remember, all right. I'm not a college professor, Salakia, all right. And that's true, young man Darnell. We think it's emotional, but love is not emotional, right? Right. Perspective, all right. Love is not perspective, all right. The water for that. Love is not perspective. I'm gonna use that word. Love is not perspective, all right. God gave us a way to love. The Most High gave us a way to live by. And there we go, Most High in Christ. Following the commandments. Most High in Christ. Keeping the Most High commandments. That's Most High in Christ. That's correct. Sister, God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what love is. It's keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, please give me one better. Now, give me one better. Give me my precept. For any officers out there and any young men out there and any brothers coming into this truth, give me the precept to prove that love is not emotional and love is not perspective, but love is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Somebody give me my precept before I put it on the screen. Because I know it, of course. I want to y'all give me my precept. There we go. Give young man Darnell a hand. First John. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right here. And I want this on the screen nice and big for y'all. And we're going to start at 1 John chapter 5, verse 2. And 1 John chapter 5, verse 2 says, by this we know that we love the children of God. Like, this is how we know. Now I'm gonna get to the precept, 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. But verse 2, I'm gonna start from up the verse above, because it also explains it. By this we know that we love the children of God. Can anybody tell me who the children of God are? Who are the children of God? All right. All right. It said, what about what about First Corinthians and 13? What does First Corinthians and 13 say? Now, of course, now I'm gonna say First Corinthians 13. What about First Corinthians 13? Are you asking a question? What is your question on that? Give young man Darnell a hand. That is true. All right. The 12 tribes of Israel are the children of the Most High. The children of God are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? That is true. But I'm gonna get back to the scripture. I believe young man Kenny had a question. What about First Corinthians and 13? Let me know. What about that? What about that chapter? Let's see. Young man Edwards, if ye love me, keep my commandments. You don't. You don't. Okay, that's a good scripture to use, but that's more so like a meat scripture. We want milk first. All right. So what you want to do is you want milk for something like this. And the reason why 1 John chapter 5, verses 2 and 3 are such a perfect scripture for my question, because it breaks down in detail what it is. It's not just, you know what I'm saying? It breaks down in detail of this is how we know we love, right? Now, of course, John chapter 14 and 15, that's Christ talking. All right. So we wouldn't go there necessarily, right? This is about how we love God and how we're supposed to love. So we would go to 1 John chapter 5, verses 2 and 3. This is kind of what it is basically a chapter on love. Does that chapter tie into on love? Okay. So so let me see. Let me go to 1 Corinthians 13. I'm gonna check it out for you real quick. Hold on. Salaki. Okay, so La'a, to answer your question, it's not this is not really referring to love itself. All right, First Corinthians 13, First Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 and down. This is not so much talking about love itself. All right. It's not really talking about like love itself when it comes to keeping the commandments in that case. All right. So we wouldn't use First Corinthians 13. It's not like remember how I was explaining yesterday in class, all right, how you want something to hit. You want it to hit real hard. You want it to hit home, right? And so we wouldn't use First Corinthians 13. All right. And then you would have to truly break down First Corinthians 13. And First Corinthians chapter 13 is more so talking about charity. All right. And we would have to break down what charity means. And it would take too long to make that understand. Is charity a part of love? Yes. But if I ask the question right now in class what charity is, you'll see why I wouldn't use it. So for an example, I'm gonna guide the brother through too. And because that was a real good and a good precept to pull so we actually know how to stay disciplined in the things that we teach. Because one day, Lord willing, the brothers that are coming into the school, what I'm saying, wanting to be a trooper, then one day become officers. What you want to do is you want to be trained properly and stay disciplined on the things that you're taught, and you don't want to veer off on too many things, right? You some things have to be set in stone, all right, to get a certain message across. So now, to for an example, can anybody tell me online what is charity? Can anybody tell me what charity is? Can anybody online? Can anybody tell me what charity is? Okay, someone said giving. Anybody else want to give it a shot? Can anybody tell me what charity is? Okay, charity is more generosity. Okay, kind, providing help to those in need. Okay, okay, young man. Okay, so now, Khan, okay, now you see, right now, Khan. So now you see where I'm going, right? You see how these different answers are roughly around the same thing. Everybody believes charity is giving help and being generous, when charity is not giving help. Like when we think of charity, right? Because of Christianity, we believe charity is just giving money and donating and caring for the poor. That's not what charity is. Y'all get the point? That's not what charity is. All right. Now, is charity love? Charity is love. But you would have to break it down and explain what charity really is. All right. If you don't have any charity, if you don't have any love, then you're not going to be able to do the things that are necessary in order to serve Christ and be under the Most High. All right. You want to be charitable. You want to be able to have charity. All right. Were any of your answers incorrect? No, because giving to the poor could be love. That is within the law. You know what I'm saying? There's a law on giving to the poor and not gleaning your vineyard. All right. That is true. You can't glean the corners of your field, Salakia. You know, all right, that's in the law. So were you guys incorrect? La'ah. But of course, I wouldn't use that more so. That would be like within its own breakdown. I would actually break down charity and give a bunch of charity scriptures and how important it is to have charity. That is what I would do along those lines, young man. But you say you understand what I'm getting at, right? So now for the future, you'll actually see, be like, I don't want to go there because it might bring too many brothers left that may not know what you know or what I know, to be exact, what charity is. All right, everyone. So everybody get the point. So charity is its own breakdown. You don't want to intertwine love and charity. All right, you want to break down love the way love is broken down, keeping the law. Charity, that's something else. All right, but that's a good question. That was a real good question. I'm glad you brought that up too. Most High in Christ. Let's see. That was a good question, a real good question. Let's see. It's a real Tawab question. Let's see. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, I don't see any other questions. And young man Darnell, that is correct. All right, the pick up where we left off, that is absolutely correct. The children of God are so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. And this is how you're supposed to love the children of God. This is how you do it. If there's another so-called Black man like you, and another Native American man like you, all right? And I want to break something down just real quick on a sidebar. Y'all Latinos out there, y'all Black too. You just Dominican Black, Puerto Rican Black, El Salvadorian Black, Costa Rican Black, and Mexican Black. Just like I'm Native American Black. Some of us are American Black. We're just different kind of Blacks, different kind of Negroes. You got your Mexican Negroes, you got your El Salvadorian Negroes, your Peruvian Negroes, your Cuban Negroes. We all Negroes back here. All right. We all the same people back here. Don't think anything different. All right. You are the children of God. All right. The Mexicans are the children of God. The Costa Ricans, the El Salvadorians are the children of God. Those Navajo, those Iroquois, and saying those Muskogee, those Creeks, those Seminole Indians, those Cherokee, those Wampanoag, they are the children of God too. By this we know that we love the children of God. When we love God, it says when we love God, it's how we love the children of God and keep his commandments. So we love the children of God when we keep his commandments. You understand? Now, verse 3 is going to bring it home. Verse 3. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God. Now, verse 3 is going to explain verse 2. For this is the love of God. Meaning, this is what it is. It's not what you feel. It's not what you think. It's not what's in the inside. You understand? Well, I feel like love might be this. I feel like you can love this way. I feel like love has no color. All of that is garbage. All of that is dangerous. You understand? If I taught my children that love has no color, that's dangerous. You understand? That's a dangerous philosophy right there. Love has no color. How do I know? Now, of course, because of Christianity, we have a blindfold over our eyes. I know young man Darnell, he was at camp. He was at camp last week, man, on Saturday, man, and I said something similar to this. Christianity put a blindfold on our people. You understand? He put an absolute blindfold on our people. And it says, all right, and if I teach my kids love has no color, and I teach my people love has no color, that's dangerous. We don't see the dangers in that. I'm gonna tell you why that's a dangerous philosophy, man. Because hate has a color. Hate has a race in America. Because of Christianity, we believe that we don't have enemies. Because of Christianity, we don't believe that there are enemies out there. We have been taught that we're all the same, we're all equal, we can all just get along. No thanks to Martin Luther King, and no thanks to integrating our society with another society. We believe that we are the same as these people. Even though those people, those our oppressor, those colonizers, those George Washingtons, those George Bushes, those Thomas Jeffersons, you understand, those Ronald Reagans, those Mike Pences, those those Bill Clintons, we are not the same people. We are completely different from those people. But because of Christianity, we have been taught to believe that we're the same. As long as we got a nose and some lips and we bleed red and we have the same organs, we're all the same. But that is so far from the truth. And because of that philosophy now, it has not upgraded, not developed. I do want to use a word close to upgrade. Someone give me another word for upgrade I'm looking for. There's a word I'm looking for. Not upgrade, evolved. There's another word I'm looking for. Not evolved, not upgrade. But I'm gonna just use it for now for time's sake. There's another word that Captain used that I love using. It would never, it's going to bother me for the rest of class. I want y'all to know that. If I do not get this word out, it's going to bother me. So I can say it exactly how Captain said it. All right. But it would have never upgraded. It would have never upgraded to what it is now. It would have, yeah, evolved, not evolved. That's a good word, right? And Captain may have used the word upgraded, but I feel like, but in the back of my head, I don't remember him saying upgrade. He used a different word, and it was like a mathematical word too, I believe. Um, but back to what I was saying, it would have never upgraded to love has no color. All right. Okay. Well, what is a metamorphized or to metamorph something? He didn't use that. That's a real scientific word, brother. But it wasn't that though. It may have been just a little more simpler than that. Um, so it would never evolve to love having no love has no color, but hate has a race to it. Hate has a nation to it in America. You understand? And so for you to say love has no color, meaning love has no nation to it, that's dangerous. While these people are murdering us at traffic stops, you understand? While they're throwing us in prison, throwing us in jail, giving us life sentences without parole, we have the nerve, no thanks to Christianity, to say love has no color, meaning love has no nation. That is a dangerous philosophy, man. It's dangerous. While this nation of people are passing laws to oppress us, passing laws to destroy our family structure, have passed laws to destroy our families and homes and school systems, we have the nerve, we have the audacity to say, the nerve and the audacity to say that love has no color. That is dangerous. That's why First John chapter 5 verse 3 says, "For this is the love of God." You understand? Not transformed, but that's a good elevate, promote, not promote, elevate. I feel like you're getting closer, brother. All right, you're getting close, and not elevate, and not transform. All right. He may have used the word upgrade, but he may have used the word evolved, right? But I feel like those words are not the words that he used. I might have to ask him or watch one of the videos that he did back in the day, because I remember hearing him say it. And I remember him teaching and breaking it down to me. And there was a word that he used that it was almost on the tip of my tongue just there, but he would say it. But let's not focus on that word for class. All right, we're not gonna worry about that. So we can get to the lesson. All right. For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous, because it's important to keep the commandments of God. This is how you love the Lord. You understand? In the commandments, in the law, it tells us that integration is not something we should have done. The Lord divided us. You understand? The Lord divided us from these other nations of people. The Lord told us that interracial marrying is against His laws. You understand? All right. I want to say it is evolved, by the way. I want to say it is evolved. That's the closest word, by the way. Evolved is the closest word. But now, like in the law, it tells us that interracial marrying is against the Lord. That is a commandment. That is a law. Meaning, love does have color. You understand? Love has color. Love has a nation to it. Love has a race attached to it. And every nation of people understand this, but black people, but the Native Americans, but the so-called Mexicans, but the Dominicans, but the Puerto Ricans. You understand? Every other nation of people on this earth understands that concept, but us. That's why we need to understand brotherhood. That's why we need to understand sisterhood. The law is the foundation of brotherhood. The law is the foundation of sisterhood. Love is the foundation of brotherhood and sisterhood. We cannot build up our communities without love. We're not going to be able to build up our homes without love. You understand? We're not going to be able to build up our children, our school systems without love, which is by having God's law. And His commandments are not grievous, meaning they're not hard. You understand? You understand? His laws are not hard. Not eating pork is not hard, but dying from cancer is. You understand? Not murdering is to not murder is not hard, but burying your 16-year-old boy, now that's hard. You understand? Not having sex with whores, that ain't hard. You understand? But getting HIV and all diseases known to man, now that's hard. Y'all get the point? Doing drugs and doing crack and all these mercs and pot and doing perks and mollies and all these Percocets and lean and all this other type of stuff, right? It's easy to not do that. What's hard is overdosing. It's hard watching someone close to you overdose and OD and die. Now that's hard. You understand? His commandments are not grievous. His commandments are not hard at all. And I want y'all to understand that, man. And so now we're gonna get into tonight's lesson. All right. Hopefully, we're gonna get in. Let's see. This picture's a little blurry. Let me see. The picture's a little blurry. Y'all bear with me real quick. Okay, Con. He sent me the Okay, Con. That's my slave. All right. So like it. And so now, here we go. So now let's get into tonight's lesson. So now tonight's lesson is about baptism. All right. Some of us like to run away from this topic, but tonight's topic, we're gonna focus on Christ's baptism and the longevity of sacrifice. You understand? Now, we need to understand the importance of baptism. All right, baptism is like a serious matter, and Christ's baptism is something that we need to truly understand because we were the ones that have been baptized in Christ. You understand? We are the ones that have been baptized in Christ. And so, okay, now, of course, because of Christianity, we've been taught that baptism is with water. You understand? We believe that baptism is with water. You take the brother or the sister, you dump them in the water, and they become clean. Now, of course, anyone coming into the truth, I'm just going to allow you, I'm going to teach you now. Baptism has nothing to do with water. All right? Has nothing to do with water. Christ's baptism has nothing to do with water and submerging anybody in water. It's not baptism. I remember hearing one time, this saying, all right? Some pastor said, when you get baptized, all right, you get baptized, and when you come up, the law is left at the bottom of the pool, or the law is left at the bottom of the water when you come up. Now that's so evil. Christians are teaching that baptism gets rid of the law. I want everybody to hear what I'm saying. Christians teach that baptism is getting rid of the law. And no, it's not. All right. So now we're gonna start at Matthew chapter 20, verse 20. So I'm gonna get Matthew chapter 20, verse 20 on the screen real quick. I'm getting on the screen for time's sake. Now make sure everybody taking their notes too. All right, let's get it. And so now, Christ's baptism is actually something special because we truly have to understand it. By the way, if anybody has any questions, right, Salaki, that confused the hell out of me, right? Of course. And so now, Christ's baptism is something very special that we got to realize, all right? Something real special we got to understand, all right? And when it comes to Christ's baptism deals with sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Christ's baptism deals with endurance. You understand? And every brother and sister back in the truth needs to understand what sacrifice really is and what it truly means to endure. You understand? All right. When coming into this truth, we make sacrifices. You understand? We make great sacrifices back here in this truth, man. Sacrifice is you giving something up, man. Giving up something precious is what sacrifice is. Something that is precious to you. You understand? Think of anything that's precious to you, something that's just you hold dear to. That's sacrifice. And back here, we make sacrifices to serve the Lord. Christ's baptism involves sacrifice. You understand? And there's a baptism out there. Some of y'all, because of Christianity, nobody takes baptism serious because all they do is submerge people in water. Because of Christianity, no one gives a damn about baptism because all they want to do is submerge a bunch of brothers and sisters in water and take and rob their money. But there's a baptism that requires us to suffer. You understand? That baptism in the Christian church has nothing to do with the baptism that Christ talks about, man, and that Christ teaches in the baptism of Christ. You understand? There's a baptism that requires us to suffer. And I pray everybody understands. For God's sake. For the sake of the kingdom of heaven. There's a baptism that requires us to suffer. It is not the baptism of that Christian church. You understand? It's not the baptism of those religious leaders, man. And we're going to get in it tonight, man. Matthew chapter 20, verse 20, and it says, all right, and it says right here, Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And so now these are one of the I believe the disciples. This is the mother of the disciples and with her sons. They're all together and they're coming to Christ. You understand? And they desire something from Christ. They want something from Christ. All right. Let's find out what they want. Now, this is Christ speaking right here. Now it says, and he said unto her, what will thou? So he said unto you, what will thou? Asking, like, what is it that you want? She saith unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, that these my two sons may sit, the one on the right hand and the other on the left in thy kingdom. And so now the sister, now of course, the sister, the mother of these sons, which is the mother of these disciples, one of the two of the disciples. This is the mother talking. And she has the nerve and the audacity to come up to Christ and say, I want my sons in the kingdom of heaven to sit on your right hand and one on the left. Now, of course, this is very out of order. This is very out of order. And we about to get why. Like we want to get why this is completely out of order. And something like this needs to be addressed. All right. Now, but now it says, but Jesus answered and said, ye know not what ye ask. You understand? He's saying, you don't even know what you're asking me. This is not something small you just asked me. Now remember, Christ is somebody militant. You understand? Christ is like he's a revolutionary. He's militant. He's strong. He's disciplined. He's the epitome of masculinity. And so he's saying, you know not what ye ask. You don't even know what you're asking. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of? He's asking. He's asking her. You're asking me this thing, right? But are ye able to drink the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And now he's answering all of them. He's not just answering the mother. Christ is answering all three of them. You understand? And he's asking, are you able to drink? Are ye able to drink the cup that I shall drink of? Somebody break that down for me. What is he saying? What is Christ saying right here? Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink? Now Christ is checking not just the mother, but he's checking all of them. Now, why is Christ addressing all three of them? First things first, clearly his mother speaks for all two of them, meaning they must be all in agreement. So they must all agree with what the mother is asking him to do for her sons. That's give the brother a hand. Are you able to endure what I have to endure? Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of? You understand? Is he talking about his crucifixion? Give Officer Mataza a hand. Give Officer Mataza a hand right there. You understand? Give young man Kenny a hand as well. They right on the money, man. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of? You got the nerve. You got the nerve, you understand, and the audacity to ask me your son should sit on the left and one sit on the right. But are you even able to drink the cup that I shall drink of? Are you going to be able to do what I have to do? You understand? And it says, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. What is that baptism that Christ has to be baptized with? What was that baptism that Christ, it says, and to be baptized, meaning this is what's going to happen, baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. Christ was baptized with a baptism. You understand? Christ was baptized a certain way. Now now listen. It wasn't the baptism that John did for Christ. You understand? But this baptism has nothing to do with the way John the Baptist baptized Christ. This is more deeper than that. You understand? It's more spiritual than that. It says, are you able to drink the cup that I shall drink of? Can endure what I endure? Are you going to suffer like I got to suffer? Are you able to sacrifice what I'm prepared to sacrifice? You understand? I shouldn't even hear nothing from y'all. From all three of y'all, y'all shouldn't even step foot to me. You understand? To be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. You understand? Give young man Darnell a hand as well. That's correct. They say unto him, now this is their answer. Their response is, they are able. They are able. They say, we are able. They say unto him, we are able. So they saying, you know, we definitely able to really to do whatever. We are capable of this baptism that you're talking about. We are capable of drinking this drink, apparently. But now he goes on to say right here. But then he goes on to say right here, and then he saith unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. Now he says, right? He said, ye. He said, now he saith unto him, ye shall drink indeed of my cup. So he's telling them, now he's talking to the disciples right here. He's saying, yeah, absolutely. You are going to be baptized with my baptism, right? Ye shall drink indeed of my cup. How do we know that Christ is telling the truth right here? He says, ye shall drink. Of course, they didn't realize it. Now, these disciples are young. They're young, meaning they're young in the truth. They don't really understand what Christ is saying right now. They're confused. You know what I'm saying? They're not really equipped because if they really understood and they were real and they were solid in the truth like they were, or I should say well seasoned in this truth like they were following Christ. You understand? They never would have gotten their mother to ask Christ this anyway. The mother would have never developed the courage to come ask Christ this, and neither would they have asked this. And he saith unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup. It says, ye shall drink indeed of my cup. What is Christ saying right there? Meaning you are going to suffer the way I suffer. You are going to have to be able to make a sacrifice close enough to the sacrifice I'm making, and be baptized with the baptism that I didn't baptize with. That's what's going to happen. You understand? But then he says, but, meaning rather, to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give. It's not up to Christ. You understand? And give Officer Mataza another hand. The disciples were persecuted after Christ ascended. They were persecuted. They were hunted down. Those disciples were put to death for following Christ. You understand? Some of us ain't prepared for the baptism that Christ prepared us for. Some of y'all not even prepared for the cup that Christ said that we're supposed to be drinking from. You understand? Now, brothers back here, We prepared. You understand? The priests and prophets of the Lord in the ISUPK, we prepared. Our young men and troopers coming into the school, y'all better be prepared. This ain't something small out. This ain't something you can just do. This ain't something just just to do for funs and giggles out. You got to be prepared to drink the same cup that Christ drank right here, man. This life is about persecution. This life right here is about being crucified. This life back here is about making sacrifices, giving up something that's precious to you. You understand? This life back here is about enduring. And if you can't make these kind of decisions like this, man, if you're not prepared to make this sacrifice, if you're not prepared for the crucifixion, if you're not prepared for this persecution, then you're not fit to have the proper brotherhood for y'all brothers. For y'all sisters, y'all not prepared to have the proper sisterhood for y'all sisters out there. Y'all have to be willing to be persecuted. Some of y'all sisters out there, y'all gonna have to be ready to be persecuted because your man has another wife. Your man has another wife. And them other sisters are going to look at you like, you dumb broad. You dumb, simple bitch. How dare you let that man get another woman on you? How dare you? And while that other sister's being carnal, you, sis, you have to be spiritual. You have to realize that that's a sacrifice that I have to make in order to build up a family, to keep a man in the home, to make sure my children have a father and they have a male role model in their life. Yes, my man can get another woman, and it's his God-given right to have another woman. You understand? You have to be willing to be persecuted, sis. Any sisters out there in class? Y'all, some of y'all sisters in class tonight, y'all let me know y'all in class. Don't hide now. Don't hide now. You thought I was just going to talk about the brothers tonight. I'm going to get y'all on the sacrifices and persecutions y'all going to have to get now. Hey, listen, this is the brotherhood class. And the first thing I asked was what? What is equal and synonymous to brotherhood? It's sisterhood. Y'all sisters have to understand there's going to be some persecution for being in this truth. You dumb broad. You let him talk to you like that? He can't rule over you like that. He can't talk to you like that. He needs to soften up his voice a little. He can't talk to you like that. He can't walk around like that. You understand? You're going to get persecuted for being a sister in the truth that truly serves the Most High and follows Christ. You understand? Yeah, the entire world, right? So like the whole world turn on you for loving the Lord. I mean, right? Exactly. You pray right, God. That's true. Your family is going to turn their back on you because you are another wife. You are someone's other wife. Because you are someone's other wife, your homegirl is going to turn her back on you. I'm telling you this now so you understand. Your mother is not going to like you anymore. And you're going to have to fight your mother because you are someone else's wife. You are the other wife. You are someone other's wife, Salakia. You're the other wife. And your mother is going to look at you like you're dumb. And she's going to persecute you. And she's going to hate you for it. You understand? Are you willing to be baptized in something like that? You understand? You have to understand that sacrifice is not going to be unknown. You understand? That sacrifice is being seen right now for y'all sisters out there. You understand? Y'all sisters out there, Get the counsel to stay with your husband. Get the counsel to stay with your man. You understand? If he gets another wife, get the counsel. But what you don't do is you don't leave your husband. If you love your husband the way the Lord said to love your husband, you are not to leave him at all. So what if he gets another woman? What man hasn't? What man hasn't? What man that you have been with hasn't gotten another woman on you? And guess what? You left every time. You left every time. And you've been left stranded every time. And when you finally found a man that only wanted you and didn't want another woman, he still left you for another woman because he believes in having one wife. Maybe you could just get a brother that just loves you. You understand? Get a brother that loves you. Get a brother that absolutely loves you and that's not going to leave you because he gets another wife. Get a brother like that. Well, that's love. Y'all may not see that that's love, but that's love right there. All right. Now, for any brothers out there, just don't go out there and get another rib. Get counsel before you get another rib out. If you're thinking about getting another wife, call the school, get some counsel. Just don't go out there and make a bunch of wives, and then I get a bunch of phone calls about why none of you and your wives can get along. All right, I don't want to hear it. I might just hang up the phone. I'm not ordered to hang up the phone, so I have to listen and I have to help. So here's me helping now. You may want to wait to get a wife in general. No matter if you have one, two, or three. You just might want to wait to get a wife. All right? You might want to learn how to be a better leader first. As a brother, you can truly destroy a sister's life if you don't know how to lead properly. If you don't know how to be a man the way the Lord said to be a man, you can destroy a sister's life. So come into this truth and learn how to be an actual man first before you decide to get a rib and make someone your wife, which is a responsibility. All right? But there's a baptism. There's a baptism that's required of us. But now Christ is saying, but to sit on the right or on my right hand, right, and on my left is not mine to give. It's not up to Christ to give that. But it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. Meaning the Most High would prepare something like that. All right? All right? It's prepared for the Father. The Lord is going to prepare something like that. It's not up to Christ. Why is it not up to Christ? What's the simple answer? Why is it not up to Christ? Because it's of the Lord, right? Which is showing us what? What is that showing? Can anybody tell me what that's saying right there? If Christ cannot give that demand, if Christ cannot fulfill that of one of the brothers sitting on the right or the left, if that's up to the Most High, what is that showing us? That's true. Give those brothers a hand, but give me something else too. Give young man Darnell and Officer Mataza a hand. Christ is not the Most High power. That is true. That is what's showing us. It is showing us that. It's also showing us the Trinity. That doesn't exist. That is true. Yahweh moves in accordance and at the will of the Father. Well, you mean Yahweh Shai. I believe in that sentence. You mean Yahweh Shai moves in accordance and at the will of the Father. Okay, that's true. Now break that down for me. Which is showing what? What is that showing? Christ moves in accordance. What are you saying? What are you saying right there? The Yahweh Shai moves in accordance and at the will of the Father, meaning what? There's a what? What is that showing us? What is that showing us? When Christ said it's not up to me to do that, to make a decision, it's up to the Lord. It's up to the Most High. What is that showing us? You're right there, young man Darnell. Yahweh Shai moves in accordance, meaning what? He moves. What was he showing us just then? What was he telling them? Yahweh Shai follows the commandments. There's an order, a chain of command. Give that brother a goddamn hand. That last part is really what I want. There is an order, a chain of command. Christ cut them by letting them know, give that sister a hand. That there's rank in order. Give that sister a hand. You understand? Now, sisters in the UPK understand rank and order. You understand? Y'all sisters in the world don't know a damn thing about order. And don't know a damn thing about rank. Our sisters understand back here what rank really means and how important rank and order really is. That's why that sister was able to give that an answer like that. Give that sister an absolute hand right there. There's rank in order. There's rank in order. Christ cut all of them because they were out of order. You coming up to me, but you out of order coming up to me to begin with. And to even to fulfill that request, it ain't up to me. It's the one that's above me. Because Christ answers to someone. Christ answers to the Lord. Christ answers to the Most High. There's rank and structure in the Bible. And because there's rank and structure in the Bible, is what's going to explain Matthew chapter 20, verse 24. And it says, and when the 10 heard it. It says, and when the 10 heard it. Who are the 10? Somebody tell me who the 10 is. I wouldn't say disciples minus Judas. I wouldn't say that. I would just say the disciples. All right. The other 10 disciples. Now you're correct though, young man Darnell, but I would just get rid of the Judas part. I would just say the disciples. All right. You don't want to, I would just say disciples. So it can be very straightforward. We don't want to, we don't want to, we don't want to divert to anywhere else. That'll make somebody divert somewhere else. Now it says the other 10 disciples, right? You can say for Officer Mataza as well, you can just say the disciples. But because we know it's 10. So, and when the 10 heard it, meaning when the other disciples heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two, because there was the other 2 disciples that came up to Christ about this. They were moved with indignation. Can anybody tell me what indignation means? Somebody let me know what indignation is. That's true. Moves with anger. That is true. But give me more. Indignation is a certain kind of anger. Like these words mean something. I want everybody to understand that. These words actually mean something. Let me see if I can get the definition up on up here too as well. Let me get to my favorite Google machine. Let's get to our Google machine. If y'all know the answer, y'all can put it into the live chat as well. For time's sake as well. Still answer me. What kind of anger though? Well, no, it's not the pride. And give Officer Mataza a hand. Now, Officer Mataza, did you find that answer? How did you find that answer, Officer Mataza Al-Kara? It's thought they were being treated unfair. Now, okay, Khan, nah, they weren't being treated unfair, young man Darnell. They were angry. They were angry, but not because they were being treated unfair. All right? It's not because they were being treated unfair. But they were angry because of what happened, though. Because when they heard this entire thing go down, they were angry at it. And now Officer Mataza said he found his answer. Now, young man Kenny was right. Give the brother young man Kenny a hand as well. He was correct when he said moved with anger. But indignation is a certain kind of anger. And Officer Mataza Al-Kara said it's anger aroused by something unjust, unworthy, or mean. You understand? And we're going to focus on that word unjust. All right? Unjust. This is a certain kind of anger because something was done unjustly. This is unworthy. And also we're going to focus on unworthy. This was unworthy. All right? We're going to focus on those two words. And so I asked Officer Mataz, how did he get that answer? He said the Webster's app, Adawan. Everybody coming into class, one of the books you want to get or one of the tools that you want to use is the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Get that Webster's app on your phone, get on your computer, all right, and look up the definitions of these words because these words actually mean something. All right, these words mean something. You can get it in the Greek if necessary, if you know all these other things, but these words mean something. And at face value, what you at least want to do is go into the Merriam-Webster dictionary and get a complete, full understanding of the words that you're reading in the Bible. All right, you want to get a complete understanding of it because if you don't, you're not really going to understand what the scripture is really saying. So now we know indignation means anger aroused by something unjust and unworthy. Now what's unjust about what's going on here? What's unjust about this? They don't got the same function on the app. But what's unjust about this? Characterized by injustice, meaning unfair, meaning it isn't right, right? Meaning this isn't right. Unjust meaning injustice, meaning it isn't right. All right. Look up injustice so y'all know what injustice is. But injustice means it isn't right. But I'm going to get the definition for y'all as well. Absence of justice, violation of right or of the rights of another. The rights or the rights of another. You see what injustice means? So now we know anger aroused by something unjust, meaning injustice, all right? The absence of justice, which is what injustice is, or what unjust is, meaning the violation of right or the rights of another. And then, of course, unworthy. And so young man Kenny said it was disrespectful for them to ask Yahweh such a question. So why was it disrespectful? So why was it so disrespectful that those two disciples asked the kind of question like that? Think of the two words we said, unjust and unworthy. So like they walked with Yahweh, felt like they had right to be up there with him. So like they walked with Yahweh, felt like they had right to be up there with him. Okay. So they felt like that, and that's why they went up and asked them, right? But now the disciples are upset. Why do you think that they're? Why do you believe that? Okay, not believe. I want to see what y'all think, and see if y'all got the spirit of the Lord back in. I'm sure one of y'all gonna get it. Y'all walking me to it though. Right? Y'all walking me to it just about. But think of unjust and unfair, unworthy. Okay, they should have known better. I mean, yes, that's true. They should have known better, but why? This is something that this is why I said they're young in the truth, because they don't realize this. They're young in the truth. They don't they're being taught these things, as in right now they're going to be. That's why they're being taught, and that's why Christ said what he said. Christ said what he said is not my decision to make, but it's someone else's, and that was showing us something. I'm damn near almost giving you the answer. He was showing us something. Think about what he showed us, and then put that with the words of indignation of unjust and unworthy, right? And think of the word injustice, which is unjust, meaning the violation of right or the rights of another, meaning you violating. Think this is how the black man talk. You violating. They violating. Because let's see, because they were no more special than anyone else. No, not it, Officer Manasseh. I know, not that. Maybe they wanted that spot. That's true. They wanted that spot. they sure as hell wanted that spot. Right? They sure as hell wanted that spot. And it says they weren't worthy enough. Okay, so young man Kenny and Trooper Kazakia, they did want the spot, right? They usurped authority over the Most High. No, they didn't do that. Let's see. They were unworthy. They violated their teachings from about They didn't do that. Y'all almost veering off. But hold on. Let me try to get y'all back on track, because Trooper Kazaki are almost there too. It says they won't worthy enough. What made them not worthy? They're following Christ, right? If they're following Christ, so of course if you're following Christ, you should be worthy. But why weren't they worthy? And it's not because they asked the question. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not because they asked the question. Not that. Why weren't they worthy? Why weren't they worthy enough? They wanted the spot, but why were they worthy enough? I got the word injustice up there so y'all can refer to it. It says, an absence of justice, violation of right, or the rights of another. Now remember, indignation is being angry because of being unjust or unworthy. Had to be Yahushua and no one else to drink that cup. La'ah. La'ah, because Yahushua, la'ah, that's not it. I'm going to give everybody else one more shot, then I might have to give it to y'all for time's sake. But y'all right there. It's almost like y'all right there, and y'all missing it. And it could be me asking, think about it. Okay, let's backtrack a little. What did Christ show us? Okay, what did Christ show us when he said to the two disciples, it's not my decision to make, but it's the Lord's decision to make that. Right? So with that being said, what did he show us there? He showed us what there? Yahweh will not his or their own. La'ah. Anybody want? I'll give everybody one more shot. I'll give everybody else one more shot, then I'm gonna give it to y'all for time's sake. They gave Christ more authority than he deserves. La'ah. Anybody else want to give it a shot? One more shot. I'm going to give it to y'all. Why were the disciples angry? Why were the disciples, why did they have indignation? They showed us that God controls everything. La'ah. It says, and when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brethren. Why were they moved to indignation to the brethren? Remember, indignation is being angry because of unjust and unworthy. Okay, maybe this will help y'all. Now, there were two disciples. Now, of course, for time's sake, I'm gonna let y'all know that the two disciples that went to ask was James and John. All right. And you can find that it was James and John in Mark chapter 10, verse 35. All right. Verses, if you go to verse Mark chapter 10, verse 35 will tell you James and John were the two disciples. All right, the sons of Zebedee. All right. So now we have a little more context. Now, I'm guessing so you got it. So hold on. So now I'm gonna give y'all another chance after giving you more information. So James and John are the two disciples that went up, right? Right, because for time's sake, we're almost coming low on time, so we may not be able to get there. And I do want to at least pull another scripture. So James and John are the two brothers, the two disciples. So now, my first question is going to be, if we know James and John were the two disciples, right, that went to ask Christ this question, for sure, what other disciple do we know for sure that did not go up and ask this question? Give me that disciple's name. And it's someone in particular. They felt more worthy than James and John. You're getting close, Ak. That's correct. They felt more worthy than James and John. That's correct. And all of you guys are correct. Peter. And Peter is who to Christ? They felt more worthy than James and John. That's true. They did feel that way, but they didn't have to feel it. It's not that they felt. Not so much that. And who was Peter to Christ? I want y'all to see the spirit of the Bible. I want y'all to see the spirit of the Lord here. What was Peter to Christ? That's correct. Young man Kenny the Rock and head disciple, in which we would say Peter was second in command. He was second in command to Christ. Right? Remember, Christ was showing us order this entire time. He was showing them that John, all right, James and John was out of order. Now Peter was second in command. It said when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brethren. Now, why do you think they were angry? Now, why do you think they were moved with indignation? Remember, indignation is what? I'm gonna put it back up there. It says, Khan with Khan, I see now other disciples, namely Peter, should have that spot. Okay, they knew James and John had jumped rank. Those two answers are pretty solid right there. They were basically asking for Peter's spot. All right, y'all gotta go. Okay, right. So, no sweat out. Gotta go back to where it finishes. Okay, Khan, no sweat out. Definitely rewatch the class. So now they were basically asking for Peter's spot. All right, y'all in the spirit now. Here's the thing. Now, that's not exactly what it's saying, by the way. So don't say they were asking for Peter's spot, of course, but y'all in the spirit though. All right. Y'all don't say, oh, this scripture means they were going for Peter's spot. No. You know what I'm saying? What you want to do is you want to base it as John and James was out of order. All right, they were out of order. The disciples were angry. They were moved to indignation because how dare you jump rank like that? How dare you violate the chain of command? Exactly, rank in order, and they were violating the chain of command. How dare you violate the chain of command? You asking for the spot to the left and the right. Who are you? Who are you to even ask something like that? You just got here, my dude. You just followed Christ. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. You know what I'm saying? What rank are you? What are you doing, yo? Like, you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Like, what are you talking about? Here's the thing, and maybe we can learn from this. All right. Another thing that this could teach us right here is entitlement. Entitlement. All right. Entitlement is a sin. All right. And what I mean by entitlement being a sin, I'm not saying it's literally in the law, breaking the law. What I mean is it's wrong. Entitlement is dangerous. All right. A lot of our brothers and sisters today feel entitled for whatever reason it may be. These brothers were entitled to have that spot for whatever reason it may be. It could have been because they followed Christ, whatever the reason it may be. Those brothers were entitled. They felt entitled to have the spot of one on the left and one on the right. Who cared if Peter was second in command? They felt entitled. Who cared if Thaddeus was next, or Bartholomew was next? Whatever. I'm not saying that's the order, by the way, Akim. But what I am saying is, all right, those were just the name of those disciples. You know what I'm saying? They felt entitled, Ak. And what you don't in the mother as well. The mother felt entitled. They thought that their boys, my boy should have that spot. Shut up. Shut your mouth. You don't deserve anything. You're not entitled to nothing. You understand? Don't ever feel entitled back here, Rock. Let me tell you something, Akim, even Akwafian. Don't feel entitled back here. You're entitled to absolutely nothing back here. You work for what you get back here. Work is everything back here. If you're not doing anything, if you're not doing any work, you get nothing. And Christ will teach you that. If you're not doing any work at all, you get absolutely nothing. Don't feel entitled back here. Just because you think you got a lot of money, you're entitled to some rent, brother. Shut up and clean the bathroom. You understand? Oh, you think, oh, I'm a such and such at my slavery. I do a lot of business stuff at my job. Okay. And so you think because you got all this information about paperwork and doing this thing at the job, you entitled to some rank up? Shut up. Go scrub the floors. You know why? I scrub the floors. I clean the bathrooms. I serve the generals. I serve the captains in all black. Shut up. Don't be so goddamn entitled back here. You don't know nothing. Sit your little self down, man. You don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? You understand? You know what I'm saying? Young man Kenny, if I got rank, am I entitled? What do you mean by that? If you got rank, am I entitled? Let's look up the word entitled. And also explain what you mean by that. I can answer your question properly. I was just gonna be entitled and not entitled. What do you mean by if I got rank, am I entitled? Entitled to what? And now entitled mean having a right to certain benefits or privileges. It says, if I work for my rank, should I ever take or let me see, take on that attitude? Not that I personally would. So, okay, so put it this way. We work for what we got back here. The truth is about doing work. All right. And you earn. The thing is, having the right is one thing. Earning the right to do something is another. You know what I'm saying? You never want to have the feeling of entitlement. Like this has, like, have a right. I have this right. When you never earned the right to do anything. So yes, if you work for the rank that you got, all right, then whatever you are entitled to is whatever you are entitled to. You get my point? So now, like for an example, how can I break it down? Let's say a trooper. Let's say you're a troop. There's a trooper and then you're an officer of 50. Troopers do not have the right or the permission to teach at all. Not at all. As a trooper, right, in the school, you are absolutely quiet, and all you do is con, right? And then the work that you put in will eventually earn you the right to take an officer's test. And then once you pass the officer's test, now you have the right to teach and to speak and to not wear all black and put some color to your wardrobe. Did that answer your question, young man? Like, we have to understand, like, our nation and the problem that, no thanks to Christianity, all right? Now this part that I'm saying is not for you, young man Kenny. Like, I'm not targeting you because this really has nothing to do with you, all right? But overall, because of Christianity, our people don't realize the militancy that the Lord set up, all right? The Lord set up militancy since the beginning. Our nation, the nation of Israel, we were a militant nation, all right? We weren't a nation of civilians, all right? Anybody that was in charge was a soldier. The priests were soldiers. If you go into like First or Second Kings, you have precepts to a brother being priest and officer. All right, that's why we have priest and general, priest and captain, priest and officer, because priests, we were soldiers as well. We went to war. All right, the Bible talks about God being a man of war. Our entire nation was built on militancy. Our entire nation was built on rank and order. Everybody understands? Exactly. Right, Khan, give young man Darnell a hand. When Slacky out of one, like when Captain Mashak told me I have to earn the right to serve. That is correct. You have to earn the right to serve us back here. Even though you are a young man, you are doing your 90 days to even earn the right to serve us. You understand? That's biblical. That's during the times of Christ. You had to earn to serve. You could not just up one day and just serve someone. You have to be proven to serve something. Like because of the spirit of entitlement. All right. I don't mean to change the class to entitlement. It's a lot here. All right. The class was about the baptism, but sometimes this may have been the Lord that we had to talk about order and entitlement. Salakia, that may have been the Lord. I wanted to talk about baptism and sacrifice and longevity, but we're talking about entitlement and order and rank. So now you never want to have the spirit of entitlement. And other nations and races of people understood that. Like, you didn't just serve the king. In order to be in the king's presence, right? You had to earn your way there. You started off low. Maybe you served a few noblemen. And then eventually they seen that you're such a good server. Now you deserve to serve. You have earned the right to serve the king. Think about it that way. You earn to serve. You understand? You build your way up. The spirit behind that is to teach you that you are not entitled to nothing at all. In everything that you do in life, you're never entitled. You work for it. Does everybody understand? And listen, the brother hit me home. Give young man Darnell a hand. The brother hit it home because that was my next scripture. That's the baptism by fire. That's what it means to be baptized by fire. Right there. All of what we're saying is to be baptized by fire. You're going to have to go through tribulation and to endure and to fight demons just so you can serve Christ. Your entire life goal back here is to serve Christ and to serve the Most High. And you have to earn it, just like everyone else has earned it. And guess what? How are you going to earn it? You're continuing to earn it by doing your 90 days, by not smoking weed, by not eating pork, by not eating shrimp and lobster, by not watching pornography, by not having sex with whores, by not selling dope. This is how you earn your way to serve the Lord. It's called having love. That's what it is. Maybe if you can have some goddamn love and realize what love is, maybe you would understand what rank and order really means. This is what we have to understand. This is what we are being taught. This is what our nation has to be taught. You understand? And those brothers were moved to indignation because of it. Everything that I'm saying now, they understood like this was unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable for James and John to do something like that. How dare you do something like that? Who do you think you are? You are unworthy to ask a question like that. Who are you? Who do you think you are? I know it sounds harsh. I know by me saying that it sounds harsh, but one day you brothers will understand. One day your brothers are going to understand where I'm coming from with this. Some of y'all brothers may actually understand now. All right? Rank and order is so important. Following orders are important. You understand? Keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments are important. Having love is important. Guess what? I said the very same thing 5 to 6 different ways. Con, give the young man a hand. Everything done in decency and order. There we go. All right. Exactly. I don't want nothing. I'm here to change. Right? Not rank per se. I understand. Right. Of course, we're not here. We're not doing this for rank, of course. Of course, brothers coming into the school, we're not doing this for rank. We're doing this because we love our people. All right. And we're doing this so we can build up our nation. But by doing that, in order to even accomplish that, we have to understand order. And we have to understand discipline. And we have to understand militancy. We have to understand that the God is a man of war. You understand? We have to understand that Christ is austere. He's strict. He's stern. The epitome of masculinity. In order to even fix our people, we have to understand those simple concepts. Or we're not going to get very far. All right? We're going to continue with the chaos. Does everybody understand? Let me know if everybody understands carnal law. Most High in Christ. Carnal with God. Most High in Christ. Them brothers understand. Young man Darnell, oftentimes I understand. They say carnal with God. They understand. They truly understand. Khan out of one Khan. And let me teach y'all something about that Khan out of one Khan too. That Khan out of one Khan is spiritual. For any brothers and sisters coming into this truth. All right. That Khan out of one Khan is very spiritual. You understand? Very spiritual. And don't be afraid. This Khan out of one Khan is your language. All right. It's your language. This is you speaking Hebrew. You understand? Do not take it for granted. Right? Don't take it for granted. Oh yeah, man, Kenny. Oh yeah, no sweat out. No disrespect. No sweat out. You're asking great questions, by the way, and you're very well engaged. And keep asking those questions, and stay solid and stay strong. You know what I'm saying? You have tremendous zeal out, and you're doing real tawab. Keep coming to these classes out. You know what I'm saying? I already know there's no disrespect intended out. You don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, when I teach for any brothers and sisters coming to class, don't feel targeted when I teach. By the way, it may seem targeting, all right, but I'm not purposely targeting you at all. All right. Now, of course, if you do feel targeted with the things that I say, then that might mean something. That might mean the message may be for you, and it might just be for you. And you should take the message and you should build from there. I remember when I came into the truth, all right, there were some things General Hyman said. I said, damn, I think he's talking to me. I'm like, damn, he's talking to me when he said that. I feel targeted. I felt targeted like a mother, man. I was like, damn, he talking mad smack about me. And he didn't even know me who I was. I was young man whoever. He didn't know who the hell I was. He didn't know who the hell I was. Shoot. But I felt targeted. You know what I'm saying? But I took that and I built from there. And that's how you change. You understand? That's how you change. That's how you truly become baptized. You understand? Most High in Christ, young man Kenny, young man Edward, they understand. They understand. Young man Darnell, Officer Mataza'a, you understand? Young man Kenny, young man Edward, they understand. They said Khan, I don't want Khan. They understand order. They understand what it means to build a nation. Let that be a lesson to any of your other brothers out there coming into this truth. You understand? Let that be a lesson. This is something we need in order to build up Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It may seem harsh. I know it seems so harsh. And I seem so cruel. You understand? I seem so harsh and I seem so cruel. But what's cruel is a 16-year-old boy being shot to death. Now that's cruel. A young lady being shot in the dome. Now that's cruel. Mothers raising kids on their own. Now that's cruel. You understand? Y'all get my point now. If y'all thought I was harsh and cruel, wait until you see that. We're going to only continue to see horrific, harsh, and cruel things like that unless we get in order. And with that, I say shalom to the brothers, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Barakathum, and to the sisters, Yahweh Shamar Allah Son Ba'ashim Yahushua. All right. Shalom, Israel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, if you haven't signed in, sign in now. Sign in now. If you have not signed in, sign in now. Your opportunity is don't waste itself. Sign in now so we can get some credit. Right, L. Connell, yeah, General Hyman be right. General Hyman be speaking to the soul. You understand? You should be, listen, Commander General Hunter, wait until you listen. Some of y'all need to watch Black Watch. Watch the watch Black Watch every Monday. It comes on Wednesday sometimes. It comes on Thursdays. It also comes in on Saturdays. Watch that Black Watch. And listen to Commanding General Hunter. He be dropping some jewels. And he will speak to your soul. You understand? He will damn near speak you into a different dimension. All right? All right. But with that, Akim and Akwafian, shalom.